Hi guys, welcome back to the not so live version of this Beetle Mech series. So in continuation, I need to let you know a few things, right? While you watch the video, the live infrastructure collapsed, which requires a few changes that are underway. But in the meantime, let's just continue. So at the moment, I'm working on proportions, just laying them down simply. A few of them required me to, make some manual changes apart from the normal primitive parole, but it was just simple changes, nothing too aggressive, right? And this was because during the review, there are gonna be a few changes that will require the foundation to have been already been in the right direction. Alright, so for the arm, I realized quickly that it wouldn't be so straightforward. Alright, so it is wide in the sense that a simple single cylinder cannot just represent here. So a better way to think of it is this biceps and the triceps, right, are like what is taking up this space, but you can visually break it down into two sections. That's this place with several panels, and then this place with exposed muscles, fibers, and all of that, right? And then we have this part that is just normal. I hope that makes sense. So let me show you different view. So you can see here, this you can just use a simple cylinder for this and a box for this. I'll leave the fingers for when I'm ready for that. I hope that makes sense. A better way to think of it is, let's try to represent the top panels, right? Here one, and then there's another one that's right, and then there's another panel that covers this one, and then goes straight down. And then this is covered by the trapezius. So this is, or you can say the shoulder pad. Think of it like the shoulder pad that connects the pectoralis. Okay. And then we have a lower panel here. And then there's a fold here. Okay. So after this fold, then you see the mech bicep, and then some flat panels here. Blah 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 blah, and then one tendon looking thing. So then the rest is history. A simple and so I'll just put something here and then the housing. Okay, and more muscles inside, and then let us simple. Okay, inside. I like how it is just 2 layers here. Alright, so obviously there will be some things at the back here, but it's not visible, so no need to add it. Now this can be represented as, and then is 2 cylinders for now. Right, this one is for this panel parts. And then this is for muscle parts, right? And then another simple cylinder here. Then a flat box can come here. I hope this makes sense. So in the Nomad Sculpt, we use the triple radius control to get that taper. Triple. Okay, so this is essentially what I mean. So you can add something here. So here. I hope this makes sense. As you may have noticed, the Bug Mech, that's the Beetle Mech, is inspired by a lot of humanoid anatomical references. It's a somewhat humanoid mech. Yes, and there's something I need to touch quickly. There was an error here where the mesh just disappeared, and I had to restart the whole sculpt. This is the second time this has happened, but I hope the Nomad team considers this. So we use 2 different cylinders for this part of the arm, and then along the line I realized a few things. The forearm also can't be represented by a simple cylinder, so I decided to test a different workflow. I used the tube tool, scaled it on different parts, and then added a simple cuboid. Right, started off a cuboid and then just moved it around to represent the shield of the forearm, as you can see. The next was to decimate the mesh of the chest, because I'd done some sculpting just to test the proportions. Seeing that, there's no point having excess vertices, moved on to adjusting the arm as well, especially as a group. So I added the palm, and then the next would be to check the silhouette if it matches. Actually, this was one of the most important part of this series. Silhouette and one other tool. So it's called pixel art, and it helps you simulate squinting. So let's start from 9 just to give you so you can see it. It helps you simulate squinting and focus on the bigger picture. This is too much currently. Let's see. I hope this makes sense to you. As you can see, the black shape actually helps a lot. Also, there's something I've noticed. In both cases, the arm blends into the wing thingy. So I'll probably just change that wing cover to a jetpack thingy. Don't forget, this is a mech, so and it's just a bulky shape. So maybe okay. So instead of that, I'll establish a scale, a human scale. I'll find a way to import a human mesh. If it's too much of a hassle, I'll just put a 2 meter box somewhere there. So once the human shape is established, it's easier to determine the type of wings or the type of propulsion, that will work for that kind of scale. Obviously, there's a limit to propellers or ducted propellers can do. So maybe a combination of 2 types of propulsion. So it's not gonna be a sustained flight, just a hop, right? So perhaps on the feet where it can assist, some long strides, right, to quickly get into position. It doesn't really have any weapon at the moment, right? So I don't want to add too much lore to it right now. The real purpose is designing a Beetle Mech, but I mean, why not? You can work on something if it's not too much of a hassle. So let me hide this and see what the shape itself does. So as you can see, okay, I think it's not bad.